Unlock your miraculous destiny. 7 divine strategies for supernatural ascension revealed. Sarah Taylor, a woman of magnificent faith, could feel the pulse of miracles in Whittlesbury, a quaint village adorned with rolling hills and fields kissed by the sun. Each evening, her kitchen table welcomed family and friends who huddled around steaming mugs to seek guidance from St. Michael, the protector, in her prayers. There was an energy in the room, vibrant and alive, as if divine secrets danced among them. But then, the whispers of despair crept into their peaceful little world. It all came crashing down one fateful afternoon when John fell ill. The doctor, stern and serious, delivered the news like a death knell, a grim diagnosis that echoed in her mind. Faces around her turned gray with apprehension, and murmurs of skepticism threatened to cloud her once vibrant faith. Could prayer truly change fate? Her heart began to tremble. As the village divided, some rallying to support her and others doubting the power of prayer, Sarah wrestled with conflict and fear. In that moment, the ancient stone chapel called out to her, a beacon of hope. As candles flickered, illuminating the expectant faces around her, Sarah felt an ache in her spirit. Was she alone in battling this tide of doubt? As prayers flowed from every corner, Sarah's heart surged and fell with each whispered plea. Every amen felt as heavy as the heavens. She fought to keep faith alive, closing her eyes and gathering every ounce of hope within her. But darkness loomed, and she felt utterly abandoned. The chapel, once a sanctuary, felt like a tomb, a space echoing with unanswered questions. Yet in the depths of despair, she connected with her late grandmother's prayer journal, buried beneath layers of memories and dust. Each musty page opened a portal to the past, filled with stories of hope and miracles that unfolded through humble prayer. Their weight filled her heart. Each entry breathed life into her atmosphere. Could these sacred whispers hold the answer? Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. With each turn of the page, the divine manifestations grew. Her village gathered once more, faith woven tightly, hands clasped together, and hearts ignited with fervor. Together, they prayed deeper, bolder than before, as if the very air sparkled with expectancy. A hush fell, and sensing something extraordinary, she rallied her community to reclaim the potency of belief. Would it triumph over lurking skepticism?
With hopeful eyes glued to the heavens, she and her friends reached into the ether, praying with a sheer force that seemed to descend like a blanket of warmth. And then, a radiant whisper, a moment of inexplicable grace enveloped the chapel like sunlight breaking dawn. A soft glow danced in the corners. A sigh of relief washed over Sarah. But then, uncertainty crashed down around her. Had someone reached out from the void, or was it merely a trick of the light? As dawn broke, awaiting a miracle, in a world echoing prayers, Sarah stood trembling, heart racing. What would unfold in this sacred meeting of hope and despair? Would her family's story twist in ways she never imagined? One haunting thought remained as the village awaited a divine answer. Were they truly ready for what lay ahead? As the sun peeked over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and amber, Sarah felt an almost tangible shift in the atmosphere. The chapel was alive, humming with an energy that reminded her of the stories from her grandmother's journal. Uncertainty mingled with hope, forming a blend that wrapped around her spirit like a warm embrace. The village had gathered again, filling every pew and every corner. Faces glowed with expectation, hearts united in purpose. This time, Sarah grasped the journal tightly, its pages a testament to the power of faith and resilience. She could sense that they were on the brink of something divine. Brothers and sisters, Sarah's voice pierced the silence, steady despite the flutter of nerves in her chest. We stand at a crossroads today. The burden seems heavy, the darkness looms large, but together we can call upon the light. We need to remember, prayer is not merely words, it is a connection with the divine. Her words hung in the air, and she could see nods of agreement, the flicker of belief renewing within each of them. A spark ignited, electric and unyielding. Encouraged, she continued, "Let us remember the miracles that have come before us. Let us allow the stories of faith to fill our hearts." As they bowed their heads in prayer, Sarah felt those sacred entries from her grandmother's journal rise within her, transforming into an invocation.
She called upon them to breathe life into their shared faith, to envision John whole and restored. "Father, let your will become our hope." The words flowed from her, earnest and potent, and then the unexpected happened. Sarah felt a pressure in the air, a palpable presence that made the hairs on her arms stand on end, as if the divine were leaning closer, straining to hear their collective pleas. The air grew heavy with a golden light, casting shadows that danced on the stone walls, and suddenly a voice as soft as a whisper echoed from within the chapel. "Your faith moves mountains." Gasps filled the room, and Sarah's heart quickened. Was it St. Michael? Had the archangel come to answer their prayers?
She could see disbelief flickering among some, but many were now opening their eyes, filled with awe. This was a moment none would forget, a moment where heaven brushed against earth. With renewed vigor, the congregation prayed even louder, earnest pleas rising like incense. "Heavenly Father, show us your mercy, heal John, we plead." But as the fervor peaked, a looming dark shadow of doubt began creeping back. What if the answer wasn't what they expected? A silence fell, heavy and thick, as if all creation held its breath. The uncertainty loomed larger than before. Sarah clasped the journal tighter, staring into its well-worn pages. Families held hands, children clung to their parents, and her unwavering spirit began to crumble under the weight of the unknown. "What if," she thought, "what if the answer is not what we hope for?" Just then, an unexpected sound broke the tension, a child's laughter ringing out like a bell in the stillness. It was a beautiful, unrestrained laugh that seemed to shatter the weight of despair swirling around them. Laughter, the very antithesis of dread, filled the sanctuary. Gradually, smiles bloomed among those somber faces. Sarah's heart swelled as she felt a deeper lesson unfolding. Faith wasn't about answers, it was about trust and connection, love and community. "Hold on," she thought, "there is more to this than we see." With her voice trembling yet fierce, she declared, "Whatever comes, we stand together. Our love will guide us through." As the congregation joined her, the chapel began to resonate with determination, the walls vibrating with the echo of unity. Yet her thoughts lingered. What was the true answer they were seeking? Little did they know, the next moments would transform their understanding forever. What did the laughter herald? What divine surprise awaited them on this miraculous journey? The laughter continued to echo, shimmering through the air like a melodious hymn. Children darted to the front, their joyous faces lighting up the once tense room. This raw joy was so pure, so innocent, that it began to weave its way into the hearts of the adults, momentarily chasing away their doubts and fears. Sarah watched, captivated, as the little ones danced, unaware of the weighty matters bearing down on their families. It was as if the joy of the children threaded a delicate string to the sacred connection binding the villagers together. She thought to herself, how often had she sought certainty when all that was truly needed was the assurance of each other? "We are all here in this moment," Sarah exclaimed, the urgency in her voice rising again. "Let us embrace the light these children bring. Let their faith be a sign to us. Together we are stronger. Together we can unleash miracles." Inspired, the congregation began to move with her call. Hearts beat in rhythm, a collective heartbeat that pulsed through the chapel. Voices rose, louder now, engulfing the building in a wave of authentic prayer. The energy, once stagnant, now crackled with anticipation. "Father, release your power into our midst. Let your glory be made known today," she shouted, feeling the echo of each word penetrate the very stones of the chapel. Above them, the golden light intensified, wrapping the entire room in its warm embrace. Sarah felt joy bubbling within her, mixing with an indescribable sense of expectation. It was as if the walls themselves began to vibrate in response to the heartfelt pleas rising toward the heavens. And then, just when the fervor seemed to crest, another sound weaved its way through the prayers, a gentle rustling, like feathers brushing against one another. The crowd hushed, straining to listen, as though the air itself carried a secret. Out of the corner of her eye, Sarah caught a flicker of movement. A figure emerged from the shadows in the chapel's rear, a figure bathed in that same golden light. The villagers gasped, breaths held in unison, for this was no ordinary occurrence. As the figure stepped forward, its presence exuded peace, an otherworldly calm enveloping everyone. Sarah's heart raced. Was this a messenger of God, come to answer their prayers? "Fear not," the figure spoke, its voice like a gentle breeze, full of soothing assurance. "Today, healing comes, but it may not come as you expect." Confusion rippled through the congregation, yet the warmth of the presence drew them closer, creating a cocoon of love and awareness around them. Sarah felt a tug at her heart. Healing, but not what they expected? Her mind raced, and her grip on the journal tightened. What could that mean? She pondered silently, a sense of apprehension creeping in. The gentle figure continued, "Miracles are often hidden behind what we cannot see. Trust in the unseen paths. Trust in what is being revealed." As the figure's words washed over them, Sarah's mind opened. Love, healing, and community ran deeper than the physical realm. She believed it, really believed it. "Can we trust?" she whispered, more to herself than to the people around her. The people responded, a chorus of warm affirmation filling the air. "Yes, we trust." It began to dawn on everyone that faith required letting go, a release into the divine mystery unfolding. And then the unexpected laughter of the children burst forth once more, lively, exuberant, and filled with hope. It surged through them, reminding them that joy persists even through uncertainty. What awaited them beyond this sacred encounter? What true healing would arise from their faith? The air shimmered with divine possibility, leaving everyone on the edge of their hopeful hopes. As the congregation steadied themselves, anticipation swirling around them, they understood something transformatively just ahead. But what? What awaited them in the ever-deepening mystery of divine goodness? The air grew thick with holy expectation, each heartbeat like a drum echoing hope.
Sarah looked around, sensing the collective pulse of faith transforming the chapel into something sacred, alive, radiating warmth that shimmered like the golden light still lingering. The atmosphere vibrated, carrying whispers of promise, and as she watched the figure, something in her spirit shifted, aligning deeper with truth. "Open your hearts to the impossible," the figure urged, its voice weaving through the gathering like a gentle breeze, coaxing forth belief. "Look around. The miracle hasn't arrived yet, but it is here, within each of you. Let your trust create the path forward." The words dripped like nectar, sweet and inviting. It struck Sarah that they held the master key to unlocking the miracles they desired. They were being called not just to observe, but to participate in the unfolding of divine grace. She felt a warmth spreading through her, igniting her passion to inspire others. "Together, we have the power to reveal what's hidden," she exclaimed, her voice clear and resonant. The light seemed to respond to her enthusiasm, pulsating in rhythm with the hearts around her. The children, delighting in their impromptu jubilation, twirled and spun, their laughter harmonizing with the prayers, becoming a symphony of trust. It was infectious. One by one, hands began to clasp, forming a circle that embodied unity. "Let us embrace the unknown," a voice called from the back, and a ripple of agreement followed. "We are vessels of His love. We rise together." Each affirmation flowed like a stream, washing away doubt. Sarah closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the warmth of their joined presence. She envisioned each person's pain dissolving into the light, every burden lifted. This was more than mere words. It was a movement of faith, a wave of healing crashing as one, enveloping every broken heart. Suddenly, in the center of the chapel, a brilliant flash illuminated the space. Gasps intertwined with awe as a light brighter than the sun erupted, revealing the outline of an angelic presence draped in shimmering gold. Gasps bound the congregation to silence, their eyes wide with wonder. "Beloved ones," the radiant figure spoke, now visible to all, "you have summoned healing by your trust and love. Healing is here, yes, but more importantly, it is within you. The barriers that separate you from each other and from me will fall as you come together in faith." Sarah's heart raced. This was the moment she had longed for. The fear of separation, of isolation was fading. She realized it was a pivotal invitation. Each healing shine wasn't just meant for the sick, but for the disheartened, the weary, and the isolated. "Can we truly be one?" Sarah whispered aloud, a shared ache fluttering in her chest. "Yes," surged through the congregation. Each response fanned the flames of faith, igniting their hopes. They began to clasp hands tighter, an unbroken chain of belief willing the impossible to occur.
The air burned with a sweet fragrance, like freshly bloomed blossoms after a storm, and the golden light wrapped around each person, draping them in warm, divine love. It was as if heaven itself was drawing closer. But as they stood on the brink, the figure raised a hand and paused. "There is much more yet to come," it declared, voice resonating with authority like deep thunder. "You must choose. Will you step into your purpose, confronting the shadows of doubt and fear?" Excitement mixed with tension in the room, hanging like a cord that awaited resolution. This call would define their next step, and the atmosphere sparkled with the unknown. Sarah felt herself drawn forward, a calling echoing faintly in her mind. Could they truly embrace their destiny? The golden glow pulsed around them, and she waited for the answer that could change everything. What was the next step to reveal their miraculous destinies? The air seized with anticipation as they faced the choice ahead. With hearts pounding like the rhythmic thrum of a drum, the congregation stood on the edge of a monumental choice. The air grew dense with an electrifying mix of fear and courage. Sarah sensed the tension, a sacred tension that spoke volumes more than words ever could. This was the moment. Every soul intertwined, each spirit attuned to a singular purpose. "Will you trust?" The angel's voice resonated, embracing them like a warm blanket. "Trust is the key that unlocks the door to your divine destiny." Eyes glistened with anticipation. Whispers of faith mingled with prayers, wrapping around each person like threads of a tapestry being woven together. Sarah felt her own spirit surge in fervor. "I will trust," she declared, her voice cutting through the stillness like a beacon in the night. "Together we must embrace the shadows," someone else cried out, their voice breaking through the collective breath of faith. "The shadows cannot hold us back any longer." As if in agreement, the golden light shimmered more intensely, reflecting the faith that coursed through each heart. In that moment, Sarah realized that the shadows were not just fears. They were doubts that had quietly woven themselves into the fabric of their lives. They were the neglected thoughts that often stifled joy and strangled hope. Were they ready to confront those shadows? Sarah took a deep breath. What if we took a step toward our dreams? What if we walked toward love? As she thought of her friends, family, and even strangers in need, she felt a swell in her chest. What was there to lose, really? "Let your faith lead the way," the angel urged, offering an outstretched hand that shimmered like the sun kissing the horizon. Sarah saw others taking a step forward, their hands lifting toward the divine. It was as if they were tethered to something far greater than mere hope. They were tethered to God's promise, spilling over with potential. The soft glow around them intensified, echoing their shared trust.
"We are vessels," someone shouted. "Let us be filled." With a gentle acknowledgement, the radiant figure nodded. "You are indeed vessels filled with light and love. What you hold within will spill over into the world. Do not let doubt dim your brilliance." Sarah opened her heart wider, embracing the radiant truth. She could feel the spirit of the chapel breathing with the rhythm of their shared conviction. The burdens, the hurt, and those hidden wounds felt lighter, like pebbles dropped into the ocean. A ripple of interactive energy coursed through their circle. "Let faith lead" was echoed again and again. It was a chorus of power, determination, and belief that could change lives. Their essence rose to the surface, ready to embrace a divine purpose much larger than themselves. "Now, reflect on what holds you back," the angel instructed gently. "This is the time to release those shadows. What shackles bind you?" The weight of the question landed softly in Sarah's heart. Shadows surfaced in her mind. Fears she had carried silently flickered like candles in the dark. Her heart pounded louder with the realization of what she needed to let go. How could she step forward when parts of her remained eclipsed by doubt? "Everyone, what do you need to release?" prompted a voice from the left. The atmosphere vibrated with a collective yearning as every soul aligned with the truth of their shared journey. Together they began to speak their hearts, releasing fears and doubts into a light. Sarah joined in, her voice trembling yet filled with purpose. "I release my fear of failure." The room resonated with solidarity. each confession lending strength to another's resolve. With each declaration, the air hummed with divine energy. The golden light brightened, and Sarah felt it pull at her essence. Today begins a new journey, came the call, unity in expression. But as they called upon the light to illuminate their next steps, a hush fell, wrapping around them. What lay ahead remained a glorious mystery. The angel smiled, radiating warmth that cascaded onto each of them. Do you want to know what is waiting for you? Caught in the sweetness of the moment, an electric thrill passed through the chapel. Each breath ignited more anticipation than before. What awaited them in this divine embrace? Sarah felt a peace surging. The answer lay just beyond their grasp.
Sarah looked around the room, seeking the eyes of those she had stood beside through the shadows. Each individual's gaze reflected a unique struggle, a longing for more than mere existence. The question needed answers, and deep inside she felt the whispers of her heart responding. "What will we build together?" someone ventured, breaking the silence. The words sparked a fire of inspiration. "Hope," another declared, igniting enthusiasm among the group. Each soul in the chapel began to find their voices, sharing visions of kindness, freedom, healing, and light. Each word woven into a tapestry of dreams that could transform their community. "Let us birth something powerful," a young man exclaimed, energized by the spirit in the air. "Let's unleash love on the world." The angel nodded, its eyes shimmering like radiant stars, basking in the energy they created. "Your dreams are seeds planted in the fertile ground of faith. Nurture them with belief and watch them flourish into something astonishing." Sarah felt her heart swell. These were not just empty sentiments, but rather divine invitations to create, to act, to manifest. There was an undeniable unity, a calling to arise from their comfortable places into the luminous light of purpose. "Together we are a force," someone cried out. "We can embody the change we wish to see." The spirit of collaboration filled the chapel. The congregation felt drawn into a dance of possibility, exploring the gifts within each person. They began to form ideas, sharing stories of how they could approach their community with a renewed vision. Sarah sensed a profound shift within herself. It was not just about releasing fear, it was about embracing faith in action. What if we reached out to those who feel lost? What if we served where love is needed most? A chorus of encouragement washed over her. "Yes," they echoed, voices rising like waves lapping on the shores of hope. "Let our light shine on the lost and the weary." The angel's smile deepened. "Yes, you are the bearers of divine light. This is a moment of awakening. What is your next step?" The question ignited a flurry of reflections. Sarah felt an awakening within her soul. It was as if her spirit was stirring from a long slumber. She could almost hear the whispers of the community, and the desires of her heart were merging. Her vision expanded, painting colorful strokes on the canvas of her life with each new idea shared. But before she could grasp the full picture, the angel lifted its hand, the light brightening once more. "Remember, the path of faith is dynamic. So many answers await you, and with every step, you will face new choices. Let each decision be guided by love." The atmosphere shimmered with an electric prayer, grounding the visions into the chapel. Sarah closed her eyes, inhaling the sacred vibration. The journey was just beginning. What awaited them on this path forged in faith? Every heartbeat echoed the question of divine discovery, igniting a curious flame in Sarah's spirit. As they stood, hands joined, hearts combined in purpose, a new mystery unfurled in the air. What would they uncover together in the realm of the miraculous? The moment felt pregnant with promise. The chapel was alive with a vibrant energy, each heartbeat resonating in rhythms of unity and hope. As Sarah's mind raced with possibilities, she could feel the collective anticipation swirling around them like a visible mist. The angel's words lay heavily in her thoughts. What step would she take next? What legacy would they leave behind? "I believe we should start by sharing love in our community," she proposed, her voice steady and clear, cutting through the surging emotions. "How about a day of service? We can reach out to those who are struggling, deliver meals, offer companionship, and simply listen.
A chorus of amen rippled through the group, encouraging her spirit, and she smiled, warmed by their support. "Let's do it!" a woman exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "We can make invitations, spread the word." "Imagine the hearts we can touch," another added, enthusiasm brimming over. Sarah felt a surge of exhilaration, empowering her. They were more than mere individuals. They were a collective force ready to take action against despair. She could see it, the community responding, a wave of humanity ignited by their love. As they batted around ideas, the air around them seemed to shimmer as if reflecting the possibilities bubbling forth. The walls of the chapel themselves felt like witnesses to the fervor deepening within each soul. "Let's go beyond our comfort zones," a young woman suggested. "What if we organized workshops to share skills, classes on budgeting, cooking, or even art therapy?" "Oh yes," Sarah thought. Every suggestion spun a thread of connection, weaving through their intentions and ideas like a delicate tapestry. They were building something unexpected, an infrastructure of hope anchored in love. The angel watched them with approving eyes. Wonderful visions indeed. But remember, it said, as you give, challenges will arise. Fear may whisper in your ear, but let your heart remain steadfast. Faith over fear, always. "Nobody said it would be easy," one of the men stated, his brow furrowing. "What if people don't respond? What if we encounter pushback?" "Let us not dwell on doubts," the angel asserted gently, radiating reassurance. "Your faith is a light that shatters shadows. Hold firmly to your dreams and watch as they pierce through the darkness." Encouraged by these words, a new sense of courage filled Sarah. She took a deep breath, emboldened by hope. "What if we invited everyone, not just the lonely and marginalized, but the whole community? Let's create an atmosphere of love that draws them in, a gathering to celebrate unity." "Yes, a festival of love!"
"Shun!" someone shouted, fists raised like a banner of victory. The room erupted in agreement, their voices mixing into a celebratory melody that filled the air with promise. Underneath the excitement, Sarah felt a tug at her heart, a reminder of the fears that had often held her back. But with every new idea they created, she shed a little more of that weight. "Remember," the angel chimed in, "transformation begins at the individual level. When you change yourselves, your light will radiate outward." The angel's presence filled the room, a palpable feeling of divine promise surrounding them. Sarah could almost feel the currents of change swirling around, inviting her and the others in, urging them forward. What miracle would unfold when they stepped into the community? The possibilities were now dazzling, shimmering just out of reach. Each heart now beat in unison, echoing with intent. As they stood together in that sacred space, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the precipice of something monumental. Their moment of action was fast approaching. The air felt electric with anticipation. What awaited them at the crossroads of faith and action? A whisper of destiny hung in the air. Would they answer the call? The chapel filled with determination as they envisioned a day of service, an opportunity to weave love into the fabric of their community. Unspoken energy flowed between them, brightening their spirits. Sarah felt this sacred charge lift her higher, and as they began to discuss plans, its weight settled gently around them. "Let's divide into teams," Sarah proposed, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "One team can take meals to families, another can host workshops, and we should have a creative group for event setup." "Amazing!" someone exclaimed. "We can even include children in our efforts. Let's teach them about kindness and giving." A ripple of excitement spread through the group. Ideas blossomed like flowers in spring, each moment of inspiration drawing more smiles and nods. As they mapped out each section of their intentions, the angel's gentle reminder floated to the forefront of their minds. Challenges would arise. They steered their thoughts away from fear, instead wrapping their hopes in a cloak of faith. "Every heart we reach could inspire change," a soft voice spoke. It was Mary, a quiet woman whose words held a certain wisdom. "We are not just helping for one day. We are planting seeds of hope that will grow in this community." "Exactly," Sarah responded, feeling enlivened. "Each meal delivered, each story shared, creates a ripple effect. People will witness the love we share and be compelled to join us." The air buzzed with possibilities. She felt tears prick her eyes, not from sadness, but from overwhelming joy, the kind that stirred up profound gratitude for the community gathered before her. While they discussed plans, Sarah sensed a stirring in the atmosphere, a tangible presence that encouraged her heart. She caught glimpses of how the future could unfurl, Laughter around tables shared, hands clasped in prayer, children dancing with joy as their parents celebrated together. "Let's make it one big event," another member shouted. "A festival atmosphere, food trucks, games, music." "Yes," cheered a young man, his voice lifting even higher. "Let's invite local artists to showcase their crafts. We can celebrate all talents." The ideas spiraled into existence, spiraling with life and love. They began to set dates, sketching plans that would soon blossom into reality. Amid the fervor, a quiet moment settled over Sarah as she reflected on the gravity of their undertaking. This wasn't just an event. This was a movement ignited by faith, built upon the foundation of community. "Remember what the angel said," reminded Mary gently. "Transformation starts within us." Sarah nodded, feeling the truth of those words anchor in her heart. We hold the power to change our community, but it begins with us. The schedule of the festival emerged, a day filled with service, creativity, unity, and the sweetest act of sharing love. Yet even with this plan, a flicker of uncertainty whispered, "What if not everyone comes? What if our efforts fall flat?" Sarah's mind flitted through worries, but she kept her gaze fixed on the possibilities ahead. "Those who need this love will be drawn like magnets," she murmured, reaffirming her faith. As they wrapped up the meeting, they gathered in a circle, hands joined. The angel's presence felt stronger now, encouraging them in this sacred act of unity. "Let us pray for our hearts to remain open, for our fears to dissolve," Sarah implored, her heart echoing with hope. When their eyes opened, the air felt charged again with an electric promise, and Sarah knew they had crossed a threshold. But what awaited them as they prepared to share their love? Would the community embrace their efforts? Would they see this unfolding in divine design? A soft wind swept through the chapel, teasing the edges of anticipation. The path ahead shimmered with possibilities as they set forth. Would they step boldly into the light, trusting in the unfolding of their miraculous destiny? She knelt in prayer, seeking clarity amidst the swirl of her thoughts. "Lord, guide us, strengthen us," she whispered, her voice barely above a breath. "Let our hearts be tuned to your divine rhythm. Help us reach those who feel lost, forgotten." As she prayed, a soft glow emerged, illuminating the edges of the chapel. The warmth wrapped around her like a loving embrace, lifting her spirits. Suddenly, she felt a surge of courage. "Every heart needs light, our light," she exclaimed to the emptiness, a newfound determination gleaming within. Meanwhile, the rest of the team had gathered in their homes, bubbling with the infectious excitement that Sarah had inspired. They discussed their own fears, worries hovering like clouds. "What if no one shows up?" echoed through their conversations, the question surfacing in hushed tones. Rob, a gentle-hearted artist, shared his own struggle. "I've had days when I felt disconnected from the community. How do I reach them when I feel so lost myself?" At that moment, Mary spoke again, her serene voice drawing in their attention. "Every act of service is a thread. Woven together, they create a tapestry of love. It's not about the number of people we reach, it's about the heart we pour into each effort." They nodded, absorbing her wisdom, their shared uncertainty slowly transforming into unity. The sacred charge Sarah had felt began to pulse in each of their hearts, reminding them that they were not alone. Soon, the team decided to take a step beyond mere plans. They would gather at local parks, engage neighbors with flyers, share their love through small acts of kindness, and personally invite friends. As they spread their seed of hope, the community responded like flowers bursting through the soil after a long winter. Smiles replaced hesitation. Conversations flowed more freely than ever before. There was a spark igniting in places least expected. Days dwindled down to hours before the festival. The tension mixed with excitement was palpable. The air thrummed with potential. They congregated one final time in the chapel, and Sarah stood with a deep breath. "Whatever tomorrow brings, let our hearts remain open to the Holy Spirit. Let it guide us beyond what we see," she proclaimed, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "Let's embrace the miraculous. We trust in God's timeline." After they prayed together, an unexpected peace blanketed them. They knew this wasn't just a festival, it was a turning point. But uncertainty still loomed. Did they truly understand what God wanted to reveal through their efforts? As the last light faded, Sarah felt the tug of anticipation. What waited them when the sun rose upon the day of their gathering? Would the community open its arms to receive the love they stood ready to offer? With these questions lingering in the air,
The time approached for their collective leap of faith. Could their love indeed create waves of transformation?
The dawn would soon unveil the next chapter of their intertwined destinies. Dawn broke gently over Whittlesbury, stretching its golden arms to embrace a new day, the day of their festival, the day Sarah and her team had poured their hopes into. As the sun illuminated the chapel, its rays filtered through stained glass, casting vibrant colors on the stone floor like sacred confetti. The air buzzed with anticipation as the community prepared for the love they vowed to share. Sarah rose early, her heart aglow with both excitement and dread. She arrived at the chapel, breathing in the freshness of the morning. The air felt charged, electric with potential, and she whispered a prayer of gratitude for every soul that had joined her. "Lord, let us be vessels of your love today," she murmured, feeling strength surge in her spirit. Families began to trickle in as the clock ticked closer to the festival's start. Laughter spilled into the streets, mingling with the warm breeze, creating an atmosphere that felt heavenly. Sarah watched parents with children in tow, friends clasping hands, all drawn together by a shared purpose. Could this be the miracle they had prayed for? As the event unfolded, every corner of the park echoed with joy. Children painted vibrant murals, laughter ringing like bells. Foods flowed from generous hands to eager mouths, and every smile brightened the collective heart of their community. It was a celebration of unity, a tapestry woven from dreams, laughter, and love. But as moments passed, a flicker of worry clung to the edges of Sarah's heart. Would they truly reach those who needed them most? Would the lost and weary feel the embrace they sought to create? Just then, a mother approached Sarah, her eyes welling with tears. "Thank you," she said simply, her voice choked with emotion. "I've been struggling to find hope, but seeing this community come together, it brings light into my darkness." At that moment, every doubt in Sarah's heart evaporated like mist before the sun. It didn't matter how many showed up or how grand the festival became. It was these connections, these heartfelt revelations that truly mattered. As the day continued, each act led to another, kindness blooming in unexpected ways. Rob, the gentle artist, set up a small booth to teach children about painting, igniting their imaginations. Mary offered free hugs, weaving her way through the crowd, leaving bits of warmth in her path. And Sarah, she moved like a sunbeam, spreading joy, her heart swelling with gratitude as she witnessed the transformation taking place. Just as the sun began its descent, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and pink, Sarah stood before the gathered townsfolk. "Dear friends, today has been nothing short of a miracle," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "We stand together, not just as a village, but as a family. We let love and faith guide us, and look what has unfolded." Applause erupted, merging into cheers and laughter that echoed across the park. They were bound together, not simply by a festival, but by a shared experience, a realization of their collective strength. But then, a hush fell over the crowd as the awareness of their earlier struggles seeped into the moment. A shy boy approached Sarah, clutching a small, hand-painted rock. "I painted this for you," he whispered, eyes wide. "It's a reminder that hope is always here, even when you can't see it." Tears brimmed in Sarah's eyes, mixing joy and profound understanding. "Thank you," she said, kneeling to better meet his gaze. "This is a treasure. We all need reminders like this." This moment ignited a wave of sharing. Others produced handmade gifts, tokens of affection and gratitude scattered across the gathering. They spoke of their journeys, their trials, and how this festival awakened hope within them. Even in the sea of joyful faces, shadows of doubt lingered still. Would this kindness last? Could they keep this momentum alive and break through the barriers that had once separated them? But as she looked around, Sarah felt an overwhelming peace wash through her. They had claimed their power together, a power rooted in love and connection. She realized that true miracles flowed from the choices they would make each day, nurturing the bonds built in shared moments like this. That night, as the stars twinkled above and the day drew to a close, Sarah gathered her community one last time. Today marked a beautiful beginning. Let us not forget what we have ignited in one another. Let's continue reaching out, loving those around us, sharing our stories. We will shine our light into the corners of darkness. With collective hearts beating as one, They lifted their voices in an impromptu prayer, words of gratitude ascending like incense. They prayed for courage to continue sharing love, for strength to face future challenges, and for the perseverance to follow their divine call. As Sarah looked into the luminous faces surrounding her, she felt a clear tug in her spirit. Their journey was just beginning. Tomorrow would come, and with it, opportunities to extend their hands to countless others waiting, aching for love. To the seam of their fates, they had woven a bond of faith. Together, they would step boldly into whatever awaited them. Their future sparkled with the radiant possibilities of transformed lives and the ever-inviting grace of a miraculous destiny. As the last remnants of daylight faded, Sarah smiled, heart full, knowing that their love would continue shining bright, a beacon that would never dim. Will you take this journey of faith with us? Your miraculous destiny awaits. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive faith stories that will inspire your spirit. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and let others experience these powerful messages of hope.
Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending. We want to hear how this story touched your heart. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Don't wait even one more second. Only true servants of God understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.